that police should be defunded. This comes as President Trump and his campaign have tried to tie Biden to the growing calls from protesters to defund police in an attempt to paint him as weak on crime. Joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman Joyce Beatty of Ohio. And you were actually pepper sprayed, ma'am, by police when you joined a group of demonstrators in downtown Columbus. Can you tell us, can you explain to us, as many of the protesters have been calling to defund the police, exactly what they are calling for? And that may even be a number of different things. What does it mean to defund the police?
Well, I think you're hearing that from a number of sources, but what I'm most proud of is that today we announced, the Democrats with the Congressional Black Caucus, with Speaker Nancy Pelosi, our bill, which is Justice in Policing Act of 2020. And it goes far into not allowing police officers to do the no chokehold. It also bans them from racial profiling. It also bans the no knock. It calls for a database system so police can't go from one police force after being terminated into another police force. It has a whole host of things that will help us change the culture. It's bold, it's unprecedented, but look at the time that we're in. I was, as you said, at a peaceful protest march, and in just a few seconds, things went awry because there was unnecessary force, no announcement of the pepper spray. When those protesters were out there wanting to be heard in light of what decades and decades of racial profiling, of the disparities with African Americans and senseless lives being taken, they wanted to be heard. And what we're doing now across this nation and internationally is getting a different kind of attention where we must put action to place, and that's what you're seeing in Congress. We're not putting additional funds into the police departments. Our recommendation is to rearrange those funds and make them put training into place, culture change, protocols, and I think that's extremely effective, or should be.
So to that point, it seems like when people are talking about defunding the police, there are many different positions on this. We've heard from some people who have taken an extreme point of view where maybe they don't see the need for police. And then you have people, it sounds like yourself, you see the need for police, but you want to see maybe some resources reallocated. Is that kind of a good way to explain this?
I think there's a combination of things that gives us a win-win. I do think that you need citizen review and community review boards. I think we must be more engaged with the citizens at large, and I think that would be helpful. I don't think we should put more funds in. I think we should look at the culture and the protocols, and they need drastic changes. When military force is brought into the local communities, we need to take a look at that. We need to change the culture of what we have right now. We need not to put additional funds. We need to take those funds and reallocate them to things that are more appropriate, that we're hearing from some of those same individuals who are saying that we should defund the police department. They have other demands also that I fully support, and our bill, Justice in the Policing Act, also includes that. I've also introduced a resolution 990 that talks about racism is a national crisis, and it includes many of those same things that we need to do at looking at the disparities, the discrimination in our police force, but also in healthcare, in economy, in the criminal justice system, in housing. So we know that there are many systemic problems that we have to take a look at.
Congresswoman, thank you for being with us. Congresswoman Joyce Beatty.
Thank you.
Right now, the fired officer who kneeled on